What's going on, everybody? James, Anthony, Andre, Mikey, what up? What up? Thanks for following there, Ty. Anyway, how is everyone's Boxing Day going? Archangel with the sub. Thank you so much. How's everybody doing the day after Christmas? I kind of wanted to play around with some toys here today. What do we want to do? I'm going to kind of target old dang Archangel with the VIP. Congrats there, Archangel. Let me see. How do I gotta see how I do this. Slash a VIP. Archangel M2. There you go, Archangel. You have been VIP'd. You were so close. What's going on, Daniel? Adam, how you doing? All right, so what did we want to do? I want to play around with some slice and dice. So anyway, the next few days here, Thaden, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the game there, Thaden. I do appreciate it. For the next few days, I want to play around with the bosses. Today we're gonna do Demon Lord, try to farm up some brooches and maybe a nice prop cat. And I think tomorrow we'll do Throne Room. I'm gonna target the accessories. Tomorrow we'll do Throne Room, and then the day after we'll do some Summit. But I want to do, instead of just grinding, mindless grind, I want to do some fun builds. And I want to use some slice and dices here on Alk Labs. So let's see. I played around with these a ton on the PTR. But I haven't really played with them much at all since the update went live. And you can get just an absolutely absurd amount of power out of these guys. Now, the deal with the rune is it makes it so they're not targetable. Ethereal Blades is no longer a blockade allowing enemies to pass through it, but its damage is increased by 75%. Now, the deal with this means that enemies won't target it. Now, a Jinn will treat it like an aura, and will still try to vacuum cleaner it. And then, additionally, a Kobold that explodes on it can damage it. So the key to using these things is to make sure you're killing the kobolds before their fuse lights. Looked like a game kind of like Forager. Nice, nice. But look at the power of these guys. It's hitting 5 times a second for almost 4 mil per shot. So just that alone is what? That's like 18 million DPS. And then once again, it's a ghost, so it's like an aura. Enemies will run through it. Now let's take that one step further and throw down a buff beam on it. And now look at them. 11.5 million times 5. That's 55, that's 57.5 million DPS out of 11 DU. Or not even, because these are 4 now, out of 7 DU. Crazy, crazy. So how we're going to do this, he's going to kind of do some silly builds today. So I'm going to run it once solo, just to make sure the build will work. And then I'll open it up as a group, and we'll run it multiple times in a group. But let's try it out here. So Massacre, Mixed Mode, we'll do a sample run here just to try out some really wonky build. Now we're going to need something for killing the Jinn. What do we want to use for Jinn killing? We can DPS, say, on the Summoner. We got 1 slot open for something to kill Jinn. What's up, Furs? Happy holidays to you as well there, Hunter. Hopefully everyone had a good Christmas and is enjoying Boxing Day. PDT, Mikey says. I mean, we can try a PDT. That wouldn't be my first choice, for sure. We'd have to make sure that the PDT is set on special enemy targeting. That way it's targeting the gen first. And let's see. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so I think on the side lanes, I want to try to use just the slice and dice in an ensnare. So we'll go like this. We'll go like that. And then we'll give it a buff beam. And that's all we're going to do on the side lanes. We're going to do that on both sides. So ensnare, a slicey dicey. And a buff beam. Now up here, I think we'll go with an electric aura as well. So let's get an electric aura. We'll give it its own buff beam. And these are the runed buff beams, of course. So it's at 315% boost damage. And then here, I want to put them so that they're not too heavy of gen bait. Like, I mean, part of me wants to put it like back here. Let's see. I'm wondering if this is... I mean, the more aggressive you are, the faster the map's going to run, right? And then that leaves us 40 DU left to deal with the gen. And we're going to try to PDT it out. Let's see what we can do. If we went 2 there... Well, these are 5 each. Actually, we could go 2 there, and then 1 and 1. Let's actually curve these outside ones in a little. That way we've got something that's definitely aiming right towards those gen. And then that'll leave us enough for... all the buff beams. It gives us 11 left, actually. It's pretty thick amount left for reflex. Let's see. We'll give the core a reflect, because I do suspect some enemies will be pushing in. And then we got 6 left. What to do with 6? Well, I mean, we could throw 2 explosive traps in right here just to help. Oh, did I get buff beams? Or yeah, I got the buff beams. Now, they'll be piggybacking on those buff beams. So that'll take away a little bit from the slice and dice's power, but it should help clear any packs that get close. And then what do we want to do? I think for upgrades, let's go full on slice and dice. Man, I hope this works. And then 1,300 left. We can just slap in to some buff beams over here. Throw a couple of PDT upgrades in. Alright. Well, let's see if it works. You see the damage ripping off. It's just annihilating the sides. Yeah, nothing's going to make it through there. It's going to be all about the ogres. I think the PDTs are going to do good, or good enough since they're on special enemy targeting to handle the gen. Yeah, it looks like they're burning them pretty quick. Well, here, what are these gen doing? Oh no, they're getting wrecked. Here comes our first ogre. Let me back away from the ogre. It's a little bit suspect on the ogres for sure. Augie, Merry Christmas to you as well. The slice and dice is definitely a powerhouse now. More importantly, it's kind of fun. You know, it gives us a little... Because slice and dices are just cool, right? I mean, it's one of the coolest defenses in the game. If Jin weren't a thing, I could see, like, spamming slice and dice down lanes. But, of course, Jin would just tear them up. The Jin vacuum cleaner is strong. Is very strong. These are just a cosmetic. The pets I'm using are the penguin pets from the winter map. But these are the holiday DLC, this nutcracker. The penguin pets, of course, throw the explosive presents. So they do quite wonderful. You do have to get used to the shot type, because when you first start using them, you'll be lobbing presents over baddies' heads quite frequently. What map is ideal for bowling ball towers? That big lower middle lane on Royal Gardens is kind of perfect for them. The new map has got some pretty long straight lanes. The holiday map, you can use really anything. Anything that you have set up properly, you're going to be able to use on that new holiday map. The difference is the run times will greatly vary. Like, you know, you do something, a spawn camp build or something like that, you're going to run the map in under 10 minutes. You do it, you know, with like bowling balls and stuff, you're going to have a lot more fun being able to explore and experiment and whatnot, but you're going to be 20-minute runs, you know? 15-minute, 20-minute runs. What's up? How you doing? Happy holidays, y'all. Hopefully everyone had it's having a good end of the year so far. There's nothing better than spraying these presents down, though. That's for sure. Just good stuff. These pets are actually not very good. I've got one of them that's a very usable roll, but it's a low usable roll. I want to check the damage done out of these bad boys too. I mean, it seems like this is just shredding it though. I'm going to keep these explodey boys up good and upgraded. I'm not even using the flash. Of course, you can use flash buff, and then it's just going to turn it all into absurdity. But yeah, this holiday DLC it included a bunch of stuff. It was only $5. So really pretty good value as far as cosmetics go. What's the best way to farm your first fusion set for each set? Main guys are max level or very close to max, but the items are only late mid game. If you're capable of doing the mix modes, do the mix modes, but if not, survivals And remember, the guaranteed drops will happen at wave 15 as well. So it's 15 and 25. So, I mean, of course, the better loot is going to be at 25. But if you're just putting a set together, even the wave 15 loot is going to be good enough to get you started. And now with the addition of runes, if you have any runes whatsoever, and you focus on trying to use primarily those defenses, you're going to just wreck. Just spam them up here. What's the runtime? We're only at 11 minutes. So, I mean, this will be under a 20-minute run. Doing under a 20-minute run using slice and dice towers, that's just good stuff. These aren't getting a lot of action in because of the PDTs, but I've got to have something there to deal with the gen, you know? And then, of course, giving myself a little protection for the boss would be ideal. Because I'll fight the boss right here. Which also means range mobs coming out of these lanes will be able to throw at me. Gonna have to keep an eye out for those little siren bombs. It is just a lot of fun raining these presents down on the summoner floating around. I mean, I've been doing it for, what, 100 hours or whatever now since the update hit, and it just, I can't stop smiling when I see it going off. Been playing Going Rogue all day. Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to seeing another update for that one. Just spits them out. Now, it's more DPS if you went with only one and a prop cat. But there's just something about having 10 exploding presents being sprayed out at a time. 5 from each pet. That's just glorious. You have a build with slice and dice that should work? Nice, nice. Well, we'll queue this one up public, and then we'll do a few runs, and then we'll check out Aramir's slice and dice build. I would love to get the slice and dice going up here, but I'm just afraid the gen are going to vacuum cleaner him. I do wish I would have put it myself a reflect beam too, but we'll see. Sometimes with the numbers going, it's hard to see the fireballs coming. You turn the numbers down, it makes things a lot easier. He's not taking any. I need the back lanes behind me to clear. That way the pets will focus on the Demon Lord. There they go. They getting shots in now. Oh no. Oh no. Boy, I done screwed up here. Can I salvage it? Yeah, I can salvage it. Boy, that was damn near tragic. Alright, well that held more than fine. Held more than fine. I think the key is it's more fun, Andreas. In no situation throughout the game anywhere will the slice and dice be the meta thing to use. But it is usable and it's enjoyable. Let's check the damage done. These didn't get any action in. Yeah, 205 million damage done. The PDTs did too much clearing. 258 million damage done. But look at these bad boys. 12 billion damage done. 21 billion damage done. Holy crap. And then the PDTs were what? It's not giving me the rundown on them. Oh, there we go. 4 billion. Almost 3 on that one. 3 there. And almost 4 there. Oh, you're talking about the prop cat. Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as single target damage is what I was referring to. The single target damage would be higher with a prop cat, but it's the same thing as little bombers. I will always use 2 little bombers or 2 penguins over a prop cat just because the entertainment value is so much higher. But yeah, it looks like that did pretty good. So let's queue it up and see if it'll hold in a 4-player group. Looks like it definitely racked. Oh crap, I forgot to check the loot. What did we get? Mana regen and range. Man, I just cannot find a good Steam robot for anything. All right. Let's do it up. So feel free to hop on in and join me. Let's give this the old 4-player test. Check this one out, and then we'll take a look at Aramir's spinny build, too. Should have put that up just a little bit closer, but I think it'll be all right. Stuck on nightmare mode. Any tips? Get survival gear. Don't grind campaign and nightmare to level up, because you got to get to level 83 to unlock massacre. So do survivals, and you're going to get massively better gear than what you currently have. That would be my biggest tip. Yeah. The further you go through the campaign, the difficulty scales up, which also means the gear quality scales up. And then when you get to endgame, you'll be playing bonus difficulties, and that makes the top end loot drop from any map. But yeah, it's just like DD1. It's not based off of tier. Like, all nightmare gear is not created equal. All insane mode gear is not created equal. The further along you are, the higher the difficulty. And the higher the difficulty, of course, means the higher quality of the loot. Doing survival to wave 100s, those are good to get the pet unlocks, but after that, they lose their value pretty quick. Because you don't have the, let's just go 1 here, and then we'll put in a protective reflect beam here. You don't get that mixed mode modifier. Harpoons are crushing right now. They're doing really, really well. If you have the rune. Just got to check your targeting and get used to how targeting works. Like if it's a flyer intensive map and you're using harpoons, you might want to put them on flyer or on flyer targeting. If it's a map that's not as flyer intense, then special enemy targeting is going to be the way for them. You have a level 1 rune? Well, I mean, a level 1 rune is better than a level nothing rune, right? So a lot of the runes have no downside. Some of them have a downside, so you don't want to use the lower quality ones. But like the poison tip spears, that has no downside. So even a level 1 is still an upgrade over not using it, you know? Anything is better than nothing. We got presents raining. Holy crap, man. Look at them. Good lord. Just the presents are completely spawn camping. Crazy. Well, I mean, the best way to deal with ogres is always kill them yourself, especially when you're progressing. The towers aren't going to kill ogres for you when you're just leveling, when you're just going through the game. You're going to have to kill them. Or use wall builds, and then your towers will kill them, and you can just repair the walls or whatever. Problem with wall builds is, to really make them good, you just have to use the full setup. So you got to use a buff beam, you got to use a strength drain aura. You know, ideally you use an ensnare aura and an explosive trap. What's going on there, Kickpone? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I got a bunch of clothes. We got some, my sister-in-law sent us a package of those, one of those Omaha steaks packages, and we had those for Christmas dinner last night. It was pretty damn good, man. Chris Cross, thank you so much. I do appreciate it a ton. Oh no, thank you. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, those Omaha steaks, man, they're super small. You pull them out of the box and you're like, ah, this was so expensive, and it's like this tiny little thing. But they were pretty damn tasty. Don't think there's enough presents? Well, I mean, you know, the more presents, the merrier, right? But like for me, when I'm just playing through on a new account and going through the different tiers, I will almost always kite the ogres on a hero. I don't necessarily do a bunch of damage to the ogre, but I'll go distract them and run them back up the lane and buy my towers a little more time. That's what happens when you get older, only clothes. Well, I mean, you know, to be honest, I mean, that's what I need. You know, needed some clothes. They asked me what I needed. I told them I need a new hoodie. So I got 3 hoodies. Nah, Hamel is not golden yet, JB. Assuming it will be. The penguin pet drops from the new map, the holiday map. You're too easy. Yeah, anyway, I asked for hoodies. I got 3 hoodies. 2 zip-ups and 1 pullover. But, you know, I mean, I asked for hoodies, so... Well, you've got the unlock now, at least, anyway. Like, a lot of people went through and got the unlock already. That way, when a golden pet is available there, you just... go in and do the last few waves and you're good, you know? I still need to get that unlock. I'll probably do that at some point here. See, I went around and gathered all the mana and then didn't spend any of it. I'll probably do that at some point here this week. I've been kind of low-key addicted to Path of Exile here, y'all. Like, I think that Diablo 4 announcement did me in. You stopped after wave 101? Yeah, that's the way to go. I mean, we know that leaderboards will be a thing down the road. And that's when you're going to want to push endless mode once those leaderboards come in. We got penguins for days up in here. How are people... Is that Aramir? No, that's Ghostman Ryan. How are people getting their summoner that color? I played with all the sliders, and I didn't get the mean body color to change like that, but I see a lot of people with really drastic color changes on their summoners robes. Like that one. I mean, that's an awesome Christmas summoner right there. Oh, you have to scroll down in the transmog sliders. The old scrolling down got me. It's just crazy the number of presents flying. Boss man cometh. Don't go back behind the PDTs, Circle. The Demon Lord will turn around and smack all the PDTs down. Drop rate for runes increase with more players? It does not. The drop rate for nothing in the game changes with number of players. No quality of loot changes whatsoever. What does change is the number of mobs. So the chance of quality loot dropping stays the same. But of course with more mobs, there's more drops. And the same would be said for runes. Although the chance is still super small of high quality runes. There's more chances, you know. Alright, what do we got in the box? Got no good on that one. Man, defense damage and power on a militia hood. Oof. Oof. Doesn't have the other stats anyway. Alright, where's my brooch? There it is. Kind of a low upgrade roll, low power roll on the passive too. No love there. Alright, 12 minutes, that's pretty good really. And then let's run it again. We'll take a look at Aramir's build here. Aramir's got a slicey dicey build. The old slicey dicey. Those things, man, they're quite powerful. It's just, it's so situational, you know? Oop, I just gave it to Cole. Sorry, Cole. Thought you were Aramir. Where is Aramir? He hasn't loaded in yet? I don't think he's loaded in yet. There he is. He here. Let's see, so we got ensnare R's in the back corners. We got an ensnare and electric on the gargoyle. Oh, see, that's a little better. Up front with the slice and dice, so it's not going to worry about the gin. Where I was worried too much about the gin, I think. Little slice and dice action on the side. What was that, an electric aura? One electric aura in the middle. Oops. There we go. To clear out all the spiders. And then the lovely beaming blossoms. Love those beaming blossoms, man, I tell you. Got 6 beaming blossoms. A buff beam and a reflect. Very nice. The beaming blossoms will chew those gin up pretty quick. And you get the fireworks show now, too. Nothing like a little laser light show to bring in the new year, you know? What's going on there, Sins? Well, man, going well. No complaints. Playing a little Dungeon Defenders. Hard to complain about that, you know? They're wrecking, man. Trying to get my presence up in there. No, I haven't gotten anything. This is the third run of the day. So I haven't gotten anything good yet. Nothing good today. I've been on a little bit of a drought with runes too. I think I'd probably be due for a good rune here at some point. Act 1 here, of course you get the LT rune. What, Flash Heal is here, or Flash Buff. Those two are some hot runes for sure. Entangling Roots. It's definitely an S tier rune. Well, I mean, you know how RNG is, their Pro Ace. It's going to give us exactly what we're not looking for. I think that's one of the things that got me so hooked on Path of Exile this league, is I'm so used to having terrible luck in games and never getting what I want. And in PoE, man, this league, the game has just been handing me stuff left and right. You're sitting on 2 dupes. I've got 1 dupe. I'm giving it away in that end of year giveaway. Speaking of giveaways, we do have some juicy holiday stuff going out. Exclamation giveaway in chat. We'll get you a link to the video on that. What's going on there, Hasaki? Hello to Greece. Which map should you grind survival to get to level 83? Whatever map you can do comfortably. The higher the tier, the better. Most people usually end up choosing prom because it's such a kind of an easy, chill run. Well, it's definitely shredding. No gen have even gotten close to the slice and dice up there. I don't know, are they getting killed or are they not going for them? It looks like they're getting killed. To watch a couple come out. There's one. Well, that one turned over towards it, so they would definitely try to go for him. That one turned over towards it too. Yeah, blossoms are just so beast. You know, I played Guild Wars 2 when it first came out, and I tried to get into Guild Wars 2 a couple of years ago. My buddy Light Rain, a lot of y'all know Light Rain. He is a big Guild Wars 2 fan. He is always telling me I need to give Guild Wars 2 more of a shot. But I don't know, it just didn't grab me. It didn't grab me, you know? I'm not really doing any trades, Pro Ace. Nobody's going to trade you that overdrive rune for a PDT or piercing rune, though. That would just not be a good trade at all. I mean, if you can find somebody willing to do it, you go for it. Don't let them rethink it. Don't let them rethink it. If somebody says they'll do it, trade immediately. Boss is just gonna burn now. These blossoms in the mix too. Boss is gonna have a bad time. And see, the blossoms are clearing the lanes behind us. So all of these presents are just going ham on the Demon Lord. That's good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. No runes on the ground for me. Act 2 and Act 5 were both that way for me. Oh, there, Bark Bark. I had a hard time. Act 5 was even worse for me personally. I had a real hard time there. Nothing. Where's my brooch? Maybe it's over here. I don't see it. It's in there buried somewhere. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll switch the build up to something different. $12 It's I mean, it's a pretty good, speedy run, you know. I'm gonna try to tweak the build I did here and use something other than PDT. I mean, the PDT did fine, but I'm not confident that the PDT will, Actually, you know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna say I'm not super confident that the PDT will clear these gen fast enough. Actually, no, it's not catching. Well, actually, I don't want it to catch a buff beam, so that's actually a good thing. Elusive, thank you so much for following. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Guild Wars 2 is bad now. You need DLC. You can buy it and need amounts of gold. It's too much grind. A lot of people just swear by Guild Wars 2 about it's saying that like the systems in place. I'm not familiar with enough with the game to really give a personal judgment, but a lot of people say like the systems in the game are what all other MMOs should be based off of. I've heard a lot of people say that. The only MMO that I've had regrets not playing as much as I wanted to when it first launched is Star Wars: The Old Republic. That game, I was really, really enjoying it. And I ended up stopping playing it because I was doing going for the Gladiator title in World of Warcraft arenas with family members. So I stopped. Well, the problem there is you would have nothing to kill Jin. I mean, I think it's very viable, but there's nothing to kill Jin. So if you were basing your entire build around that, the Jin would just come vacuum cleaner everything up. Jin in DDA are like cyborgs in DD2. They force your hand with specific things. I think they're both fun. I mean, can it not be fun? Does one have to be more fun than the other? I mean, that's a matter of opinion, too. I mean, right now, today, for me personally, DDA is more fun. But it's because I have absolutely nothing to do in DD2. I would be playing it just to play it. With no actual goal. So we can piggyback them both in there, huh? But, I mean, they're all fun games, you know? So, I mean, play the game you want to play and enjoy it. That's the right answer. Fun is the answer to all things. Well, maybe not all things. But all game-related things. For sure. Oh, crap. I never put the slice and dices back here. What did I overbuild? Oh, no, I put them up front. That's right, derp. Oh, and I don't have them in the ensnare either. Major flaws here, y'all. Major flaws. Major flaws in the build. We got way too much overlap on those guys. It's a waste. But, I mean, that addresses that issue anyway. We'll put this back here for the spiders. There we go. I mean, quite a bit of a waste of DU here with this hard overlap. But I think it'll work. Oh, you think it would have been fine? Yeah. Yeah. Just having the explosive rune in there probably is good enough, huh? No, DD2 is a free-to-play game, so nothing is the same. DD2 is the only free-to-play game in the Dungeon Defenders franchise. So it's the only game like that. It's not like any of the other Dungeon Defenders games, because there's no microtransactions in the other Dungeon Defenders games. DD2 being free-to-play, they have to set it up with mechanics that are business appropriate with a free-to-play game. You know? Can't be giving away for the game for free and then not making you pay for things. The 8 Pengus would have taken care of it? Yeah, there's probably a good chance of that. Bill should make him shoot 20 easy. Hell yeah, man. At least for April Fool's Day or something, right? Give us the the present launching for April Fool's Day. What game was it? Rogue Tower put in an April Fool's Day update that made everything ridiculously OP. So you had one day of insane OP just for April Fools. It was really mixed too. I thought it was super fun going and wrecking up the maps, being all beast moded, but a lot of people were really pissed, and the achievements and stuff didn't pop, so it's not like you could cheese achievements on April 1st. It was just a day to play with completely imbalanced broken things and have fun. You want to see a pet that causes mobs to throw things as me? Man, that sounds like that would be extremely difficult to implement. But it would be cool as hell. Everybody'd be ignoring the ogre chasing around the things being thrown. Man, it's like a fountain of presents. I haven't tried it on console. Blast Shield doesn't work like on PC. Well, just to make sure that, you know, you get that feedback in. Yeah, see, that's what a lot of people like, the action aspect of Dungeon Defenders games more, but I personally don't need that. You know, like right now I'm really into Path of Exile. I'm getting my action fix out of that. You know, Warframe is another game I really enjoy the action element of. But for Dungeon Defenders games, I've always liked the defense strategies more than anything else, personally. Likes me the tower defense. Thanks for following there, Primal. I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, but that's just never going to be a thing. So, I mean, yeah, of course, that would give you motivation to do so, but that will never, ever be a thing. That's the challenge now, is we're already so OP. Bill doesn't want to give us things to make us more OP in any way. Like a loot quality buff in my mind would be like, say 25%. In Phil's mind, it would be 5%. But that's just the mind of a game dev versus the mind of a player. Well, I mean, that's why it's the most fun time to play. Any game really that's based on loot progression. You go to a new tier and you get that, you know, you just get upgrades like crazy left and right. It just makes the game feel really, really good when it's at that stage, you know? So much fun. That's one of the reasons I'm not necessarily against, like, I don't feel like it was implemented really well in DD2, but like the ancient power system or having some way to reset. Or like seasonal things in like Diablo or Path of Exile. I think that's one of the reasons I've always liked those things. I think that'd be super cool, but I just wonder how difficult that would be to implement. It would have to give you like a separate save file, I think, because it would be a different version of the game you're running. Like you would have to log in and choose, and I don't think they'd be able, I mean, they might be able to, obviously I'm not the engineer, but I think you would have to like log into the game and choose whether you're playing seasonal or normal. And then I'm not sure if the normal or if the seasonal save files would be able to cross over to normal at the end of a season. But I do think that would be super cool. I mean, I would play the hell out of it. And like right now, like I've been really grinding Path of Exile this league. It's been a few weeks now. I've been really digging it and having a lot of fun. But like Diablo 3, man, I am such a fair weather player. Like a new season comes, I grind it hard for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then I don't play it again at all until the end of the next season. But something like Dungeon Defenders, any of the Dungeon Defenders games, if it had something like that, if they were able to get the seasons refreshed like every 4 months or whatever, man, that would keep me playing the game for thousands and thousands of hours. All right. What's in the box? Another crappy kitty. See, every time I get a steam robot that's 0.33, it's missing something. No vitality. Makes it a deal breaker. Wow, super low roll on the brooch. Lowest roll of the day there, in fact. Oof. Oof, oof. Alright, well, let's, we'll start up a new group. Feel free to rejoin. I just want to make sure anybody else has an opportunity to hop in. Hey, crap, man. I do that every single time. But, yeah, like I said, feel free to rejoin. But let's try a different sketchy build. You can name the stream Sketchy Builds That Work. Nothing. All right, so what next? The slice and dices clearly will get the job done. What do we want to try out next, y'all? What do you guys think? What is something that we don't see every day on the Demon Lord? They're not actually pets, they're just skins. They're Yoshi. They're the penguin pets from the Christmas map. It's a guaranteed drop from Wave 25 Survival or Mixed Mode on the new holiday map here. Blue balls. Blue balls is going to be a tough one. But we can try it out. It's going to be a tough one for that map anyway. Gimli's got blue balls. Pretty sure he's the blue baller. Indeed. The deal with these things is, man, they got a crazy amount of power, but their usage is so situational. Right. No, my loot filter is not bugged. Random stuff in my inventory are things there on purpose. I was saving these for number comparison, since it doesn't let you select a lower tier once you have the higher tier unlocked. So I picked those up just so I could do a number comparison. Alright, now blue balls, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to need something to kill the djinn. So what do we use to kill the djinn? Yeah, it's a permanent edition. Thanks for following there, Yoshi. Appreciate it. Yeah, I meant to do it as friends only. As I mentioned, I'm going to test the build first before I open it up to public. I'm not just going to do a rando build in a public match and, you know, the results would be based off of who's in the group. PDT is not going to get it, but since we're going blue balls, do we go harpoons with the blue balls? And we'll use the poons for the djinn? See, I still think we want... What do we want the targeting to be at? I think we want special enemy targeting. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it at special enemy on both of them. Alright, let's see. I got mixed emotions on this one, whether it's going to work. It depends on what you're farming. There'd be a different... I would say something different for every map. Weren't notified about the stream? Yeah, sometimes the notifications don't go off. Sorry, man. I feel like we're going to have to add something else in here, too. Maybe go in an explosive trap. That's just a lot of DU, huh? Alright, Ellie leaves 38 to you. Holy crap. Well, we're not going to be able to go 2 of those per lane. There's just nowhere near enough to you for that. I never even put the ensnare over here. I think DDA is a good purchase right now. There won't be a new Dungeon Defenders game for several years. DD1, DD2, and DDA are still getting developed. So I wouldn't guess that there would be a new Dungeon Defenders game for quite a while. Then I'm pretty sure it's on the Steam Holiday Sale too, if you're a PC player. What to do? See, the problem here, I could put bowling balls back here, but they're not going to roll uphill. DD1 just got an update. It hasn't gotten an update in 10 years, and it just got an update. So I don't know how you could possibly think that. Plus, it has community events going on constantly. Satisfactory is an extremely fun game. That's a really, really good one. I mean, if I go like this, they're just not going to bounce up hills. And then plus that's going to leave me no DU for the harpoons. You can use anything you want in DD2, Elmo. There's heavy duty power creep in DD2. Literally any defense is usable. I thought about that on top of there, but the problem is there's nowhere for the balls to go. Like, it would create a nice little ball pit down in the middle here, but it's not going to bounce up here and hit things. I wouldn't think. I would think that they would hit down here and then bounce backwards. That's just not even true, guys. For a 10-year-old plus game, it's got an extremely healthy player base. And it's a super active. It's the most active of all the Dungeon Defenders communities. So that's just not even remotely accurate statement. You just have to know where to go. You have to be playing on PC, and you've got to join the DD RNG Discord server. If you do that, there is an enormous amount of activity in Dungeon Defenders 1. More so than DD2 or DDA. Many times over, in fact. So yeah, that's just not even close to true. That's Fairglades. Man, this is just not gonna work. We might have to try it with the bowling balls up top. I don't even think there's gonna be enough power for the side lanes either, to be honest. I don't think one is gonna be enough. Well, it's an enormous map is why. If you spawn camp it, it runs way quicker. Like in mixed mode, wave 23 starts, you can do in like 6 to 8 minutes if you spawn camp it. Well, DD1 is definitely in a class of its own. They're king, but DDA feels kind of similar to DD1. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's exactly like DD1. Because DD1 has definitely got its own thing going for it. But the loot system is similar. I think we're going to have to dump it all into the poons. I do want to give a little love to these sides, though, because I'm worried about those. I'm not as worried about the top for the first wave, because I'm going to stand up there on my summoner. I don't know, y'all. I don't feel very good about this one. This is just a really terrible map for bowling balls. Not sold on this build at all. But, with that being said, it's actually getting the job done. Somehow. We'll have to see when an ogre rolls out here. Ogre getting wrecked by the poons. There's definite mobs leaking through on the sides. It's had an enormous amount of updates over the last 2 months, their king. So it's not a come back to, it's a continue to. I mean, we had a massive update before Halloween. Then we had a Halloween update. Then we had the episode 1 update. Then we had this holiday update. I mean, there's been massive stuff going on in DDA. 80 hours away from 3,000 hours? Nice. I don't know. I got too many damn hours, Aramir. Somehow this is working. I really did not expect these side lanes to hold, but they are. Now, I think if I wasn't standing here, these would get vacuum cleanered up. Well, see, that's the thing. We just got a big quality of life update, too. I mean, on all fronts, DDA is in a wonderful state right now, and the future of it looks bright. Whether it be on quality of life, whether it be content, all of the above. I mean, the quality of life updates have been going off like crazy. The content updates have been going off like crazy. I mean, Phil is busting his ass, man. He's putting in some serious work. See, I got nothing to kill skellies back here if they leak. This is one of the challenges here. Let's dump it all into these this time. Yeah, the hero filter is ridiculous. I mean, just so much. There's so much, you know? Guruji, thank you so much for following. Sorry for massacring your name if I massacred your name. Feel like building makes the game what it is? I would have to agree. My favorite part of the game for sure. Not everybody's that way. You know, a lot of people enjoy the action element more than the defense element, but I personally, I like to treat the game as a strategy game. A tower defense strategy game. I get the most enjoyment out of it that way. I cannot believe that these are clearing. That is just crazy. I'm kind of tempted to stand back and see what happens when an ogre comes out. I mean, they're like one-tapping orcs. Yeah, EV flamethrowers are meta. Nope, nope. Sirens got us finally. EV flamethrowers are one of the meta towers in the game. So trying to do more unconventional things instead of doing the metas today. Actually, probably going to do that all week. This one, I'm going to just call it a fail. Like, if you're not standing right here with DPS pets or with hero damage spraying into the lanes, it's just not going to hold. These shrooms is what I thought you guys were going to pick. I already had a shroom build in mind. This is just such an awful map for bowling balls. I mean, the sides aren't that bad, I guess. But there's just nowhere good to put them. Putting them up top, you're not going to get the benefit. They're just not going to go over here. I guess we can try it. It's only wave 24. We can throw them up top and see if they'll bounce over before we completely abandon them. I think it's a good, definitely doing great here. It's handling this like it's nothing. All right, so let's see. I just did a shroomy build not that long ago, and that was before the targeting. So yeah, there's no doubt that would get the job done. Now the other problem here is you can't stand up here now and fight the Demon Lord because these are just going to get blown up. That would be the other problem with putting them up here. Man, it doesn't look like we're going to have enough buff beam. Maybe we will. We're not going to be able to fight the Demon Lord up there. The fire will just kill him right away. We'll have to, like, come over here to the side and then try to run around. It's just not an ideal place to put anything that can be destroyed on this map. There are really good maps for bowling balls. Yeah, you make the big ball pit. Absolutely. Yeah, see, they're just not getting up there. Some of them are, but not enough of them to be effective. Gonna call that one a bummer, too. So since we know this is just not ideal, let's do the smart thing. And dump a bunch of spiders. Non-fused spiders will completely save the day here. Such a strong, powerful addition to the game. Out of juice. Oh, well, no spider building now, huh? Ew. See if that's enough to keep things under control. Looks like it's going to be fine. All the ogres are... Well, I think there's probably still an ogre, actually. As long as this poon... Man, I lost the poons in the middle, too. I'm going to be screwed here. I'll spam spiders around, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to get the win here now. This is wave 25. We don't have the option to rebuild. Definitely going to say that other than on the side lanes, I don't think the bowling balls are 4-player friendly. I do have fusion spiders, but they're not in my deck right now. We're locked in. Can't swap heroes. Well, I can't do nothing now because I went and died. I'm not even going to have enough time to put down 26 DU worth of spiders before the boss comes. I'm going to get as many as I can. Your spiders aren't hitting enemies? Is it shooting over their head? It's probably the placement. You got to give spiders room for that high lob. And then you got to make sure there's like nothing that can block their shot. Like if they shoot into the ceilings or whatever. Well, if it just shoots straight up in the air, that's because the enemy, their target died, is what happened there. When you see the web just go straight up in the air, then something else killed the target before... shoot, I don't have enough mana for anything. Well, crap, man. This one is going to be a dead run. Go, little presents. Wreck all them faces. A siren right now would ruin me. There's too many ground mobs, so not enough shots going into the demon. When the pets switch over and are hitting the demon lord, they do a ton of damage. Looks like I'm losing a bunch of them just shy on the range too, though. You go up in the air, they hit him. We'll get them, but it's going to take a month. I think if I just rushed him here, they'll get him. Maybe? Maybe not. Well, they got him, but that was not pretty. Not pretty at all. See, that just wouldn't be fun to me, Hal. Once again, I like to focus on the tower defense aspect of the game. Doing a 2D only build means your hero's doing everything. So to me, that would be no fun at all. I would rather play Warframe. I mean, if that's fun to you, then by all means, that's how you should play it. But like for me personally, that would just not be enjoyable at all. I probably won't do another full playthrough now. Not unless there's some major game-changing stuff. It's very difficult to go back to DD2 and play it after playing DDA. The quality of life is just so much greater. It makes DD2 feel really kind of rough. So I don't think I'll ever do another full playthrough of DD2 again. I mean, it's realized that I've been playing that game for coming up on 10 years now. It's time for other things, for me personally. All right, well that one's just a straight up no. I mean, the side lanes would have been fine, but doing anything with the bowling balls up front is just a big nope. So, what next? Somebody mentioned shrooms. I'm not sure my shroomer is strong enough. Got plenty of stat. Shrooms, however, we can throw all over the place. There's like hundreds of them on my channel, Johan. It's full. The keep is AFK to the boss. But, I mean, there's literally like 100 different runs on the channel. Let's see. What do we want to go with shrooms? Well, we should keep it warden themed, huh? I'm not sure what to go with them. I mean, needs something. The shrooms by themselves will miss too many things. I don't want to go beams since we just used beams. My beam EV, probably like 13k. I don't know, let me see. Not even. I swapped his gear around a little bit because the diminishing returns hit so hard. Every character is the same, Wild Recon. With the exception of LTs, the Lightning Tower, every other character, you would want all 4 stats, ideally, but at a minimum have power, range, and rate on all your pieces of gear, and then you only upgrade power. The diminishing returns hit really hard up high like that. There it goes. So you're probably not missing out on too much, to be honest. I mean, obviously, you want more. More is better, right? Shrooms and spiders. See, that's a little sketch. We can try it. But this is another one that I just would not be confident going in thinking it would work. But yeah, let's try it out. Once again, I'm going to try to beat it solo before I do it in a group. All right. So I think we'll do nothing on the side lanes and just let the enemies walk up the path. We'll do like the old school builds with 2 R stacks. Front side and back side. Nah, the holiday map's a permanent edition. Any map that comes to DDA is a permanent edition. They're not going to do any temporary stuff. Archers, as long as you give them something else, or using any one defense by itself, unless it's one of the broken OP defenses, it's just not a good build. You always want to combine other things. But archers are a fine addition. Nothing wrong with them at all. The problem archers have is magic missiles are better. Because magic missiles have a rune, or an offensive rune, you know? What's going on, Skylar? How you doing? All right. Playing DD1 with a friend, nothing wrong with that. All right, what's the range like on these things? We're going to have to upgrade them for some range. We can also throw them around, though. Got your friend into DD1? Nice. Wonder if we can do a mushroom fountain up here. Or if they'll just get wrecked. Well, I mean, we gotta try it, right? Ooh, you know what? I need to put that rune in for the... Oh, I've already got it. I'm gonna say I need to get that slow rune in here. That will help out quite a bit with the slows. Alright, so we need to save, what, 9 right now. Just with those shrooms that are back there. Alright, I guess we're not going to do anything else with the shrooms. See, and that leaves 3. What do we do with 3? A spider! One lonely spider. That's alright. 1 spider is better than no spiders. We'll put it right there in the root. Well, I mean, I was supposed to be using spiders that run, but I got too carried away on the shroomage. The shrooms will do that to you. No, the Christmas map is a permanent edition. It's not going anywhere. There's no purpose now, guys. That's one of the things Phil wants to change. The fusion system in general was just a bad design decision. And Phil is doing his best to try to go through and, you know, it wasn't Phil's design decision. So Phil is trying to do his best to come up with a way to change it or fix it so that it doesn't trivialize the rest of the game. The problem with Fusion right now is it makes it so that you don't play anything other than Rift mode. So an entire aspect of the game is just completely gone. you know. All right. Let's check them out from the back first. Your best bet is to ask questions publicly, Redeem, because remember, it's an old game that people have answered your questions 6 million times. So if you ask them publicly in any Discord server that has Dungeon Defenders players, then everyone else can see the answer too. So don't try to take one-on-one treatment from somebody, because, like I said, remember that the veterans of the game have answered those questions literally 6 million times. It's an old game. So join any Dungeon Defenders related Discord server and ask your questions publicly, and there will be tons of people to give you answers. Oh shit, I'm on the wrong summoner. Well, I hope the shrooms hold. This summoner has only got a cosmetic pet on. I mean, they're getting up in there. It doesn't look like the lob is hurting them up here either. At least not at the moment. Let's see how this ogre fares. Ogre gonna waltz right in. Come on now, you better shoot at that ogre. Well, damn. Well, that wasn't a surprise. Looks like I'm going to need reflect beams here, too. Oops, god dang it. I'm not on... I keep forgetting I'm not on the right summoner. I mean, I think I saved that one walking in. I think putting anything up here is just a bad idea. It's just vacuum. It's gin bait. Yeah, ogres, rifted ogres throw kobolds, Obi-Wan. What's going on, Jeffrey? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Probably gonna lose that gas trap too, or the explosive traps here. Look like they might end up struggling a bit. The shrooms are doing good though. What I'm gonna do is put more shrooms back here. And not have any shrooms here. I think the shrooms are gonna hold just fine though. No, I changed the shrooms to special enemy targeting. But that will also, by moving the shrooms back, that will also allow me to add more spiders into. More spiders equals more crowd control. And you'll actually find that the spiders are quite powerful. And it's AoE. So spiders will actually clear areas. Yeah, these traps are going to go. There's no way they're going to hold through 300 more mobs. I want to have a whole lot of rebuilding to do here after this one. Wanted to hang out and chill a bit. That's fair. There are no codes for DD2 anywhere. DD2 is not a free-to-play game where they just where they're just codes that exist that you can redeem for stuff. There are 0 codes. Like, you can win codes to special things, but you'd have to enter the giveaways for those. It's not like, you know, Idle Champs or whatever, where there's 16 million codes to enter in a day. It's not that kind of game. Every defense in the game is the same, Jeffrey. There's 0 diversity. Defense rate would be a great choice. Piercer would help it out since it's a projectile. And then use anti-mods. Every defense in the game would go by the same rules. There's only probably, as far as building mods go, there's not very many meta mods in DD2. It's a very small list, and you use those same things on everything. Well, you have to, you set the targeting yourself, Hunter. The smartest choice would have been to buy inventory. But, I mean, no wrong choice. It's a free-to-play game. Gotta have fun, you know? I mean, the EV was a good choice of character to choose. Well, I mean, you could set something to strong for that. There's target options for everything now. Let's see. Do we want more shrooms or do we want more spiders? Because I don't have a ton of DU left. What can we do? Let's go. Yeah, it doesn't leave us enough DU for more shrooms. Are you all happy with 6 shrooms, or just gotta have more shrooms? Same stuff, Gamus. The game is now all about runes. More shrooms, you say? Obi-Wan's never happy with 6 shrooms, since must be more shrooms. So we'll do that instead. So we added 1 spider and 2 shrooms, and then we got 1 DU left. I think I'll put it up here to help me out for against the boss. I think this could end up being a viable 4-player build right here. Only shrooms. I tell you what, you could do only shrooms runs quite easily if you could set the target priorities different on different heroes. But since it sets the priorities for everyone with that defense for the account, it takes a bit of that away. Thanks for following there, Crackers. Appreciate it. But now we can flash buff these guys, or we can go up there and do a ton of damage. I didn't get upgrades on the shrooms either. Buy another copy of DDA and play on 2 accounts for different targets. I mean, you could do that, but you wouldn't be doing it to play with 2 different targets. You would be doing it to get 2 different sets of loot. Let's be honest here. I think the spiders are going to shred everything up there. Spiders are so strong. See, I need to get upgrades on the shrooms to give them a little more range. Thanks for following there. It's Orbing Time. Welcome, welcome. All runes have the same stats? No, all runes do different things. You mean the quality of runes? Like all 8 of 8 runes have the same stats? Yeah, yeah. Like all 8 of 8 runes are the same. Like all, say, spider 8 of 8 spider poison runes. They're all the same. No ranges to worry about there, man. That would be a god-awful level of RNG added in. Please never say that or mention that at all in the presence of any chromatic developers. That would be so bad, man. Because they're already so hard to get. If we had to worry about quality as well, past like the being an 8 out of 8. Set the idea to fill already. Great, Aramir. Great. Alright, we gotta get some shroom upgrades in, because we don't have any range. So let me just hit one upgrade on each of those, and then let's go for these shrooms. Now we should see some shroom fountains going off here. Let's check it out. I think this build will hold 4-player. I really do. See, now we got shrooms shooting up there too. Not as many as I'd like. I mean, they're pumping the shots out. It's not just spiders now, though. There's shrooms up there as well. Well, you can't change them. You have to find them at the high quality. To get 8 out of 8 runes, you're going to have to be in Massacre Lycan King bonus difficulty. It's based off of loot modifiers. So depending on what tier you're in, is the quality of rune that will drop. Like you're not going to be able to farm insane mode and get good runes. Basically, you're going to get a quality more fitting to insane mode. You know. These guys are getting it, man. I think the spiders are doing most of the work, though. Until the ogres come, the shrooms are devastating the ogres. As far as pack clearing, though, those spiders are putting in mad work. They'll get a rune. I don't know what they'll get. I mean, what would make sense for them? What would be thematically accurate to go with the mushrooms? I would say give them a poison dot. Or have them leave, like, a little spore puddle on the ground or something like that. That has, say, a slow attached to it. I don't know. It's hard to say what would thematically go with the shrooms. Yeah, but I mean, you know, they're gonna have to use some similar runes, kind of like the Wisp in the DST. The rune is the same but slightly different, you know. Ooh, now that would be an interesting thought. Cluster bombs. You do some sauce and cook them. That's fair. That's fair. An enrage puddle. Then it might be too much like Orcs Must Die shrooms. That would definitely be cool, though. I mean, I think there's options that would match thematically. Less range, but more damage. I think the cluster bomb thing would be cool as hell. Homing nuclear shrooms? Some kind of homing would be cool. Because there are a lot of wasted shrooms now. At least it's an AoE explosion when they hit. Darts? I don't know how they would... What, make them explode and shoot darts or something? I'm not sure how they would get that to work. That would be cool, though. I mean, right along the lines of, like, the cluster bomb. If it exploded and shot darts out, that'd be cool as hell. Every map is different. Gamesina. As a general rule right now, it's stack slows. So you want an ensnare aura. If you've got the explosive trap rune, you want to add the explosive traps in. And then if you have the tree, the little root rune, my little root going to get exploded down there. If you have the root rune, you would want to throw those in as well. The more CC you add in, the more viability any defense in the game becomes. So definitely get your CC going is what I would suggest. It's the most important thing in the game. What tower you use for damage is not important. What's important is slowing the mobs down, you know? Demon Lord getting rolled by mushrooms. How does that make you feel, Mr. Demon Lord? Thank you so much for subscribing there, Sienna. I do appreciate it. How does that make you feel getting beat up by mushrooms? Huh? Tell me that, mister. How does it make you feel? You didn't want to answer. You can't get all 5 towers fusion on one hero. You can have 2 is the most. You can have any defense that you choose plus the first defense. So like in this situation, actually this situation, this guy's or no, actually he's not. He's using a Arcanist Helm. So like this is my Waller. So for this particular summoner, I have fused ogres. And then the first defense, which is archers, so I have fused archers as well. I don't know if that would be sending the message they're looking for there, dropped. But that would definitely be interesting. But yeah, it's probably not. I mean, they're already forcing it that the tavern drinker or the tavern keeper in tavern is drinking a root beer. They're trying to keep it as family friendly as possible, you know. They may not go for the magic mushrooms. Oof, that'd be terrible, Aramir. Terrible. All right, y'all. I'm convinced that build is 4-player friendly. However, I am also out of coffee. So I want to get me a coffee real quick here. Let me clear out this trash loot. Oh my god, I got a 0.33. That's not missing vitality. Is that my first one? Let me look. No, there's another one. That's the one I just got. That one's a 0.4. Why did I even keep that? I've only had 2.33 Steam robots drop that have all 3 stats. Out of all this time grinding, only 2. That's crazy, man. I've sold off so many Steam robots. Like an absurd amount. But, I mean, I got 2 of them now. Let's take a look at them real quick. Let's get them upgraded here. Obviously, on the summoner, you're never going to be able to get into melee range. But if you wanted to, let's see what they would do. That's not exactly terrible DPS. I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad either. It's going to settle right at around, let's just call it 142 million. So that's with steam robots. Now, what if we did the same thing, but we took Monkey Kings instead? I'll use low-tier Monkey Kings, too, so it's apple to apples. That one's slightly high. This one's a little lower. Oh, there we go. It's about the same tier. What do you guys think the difference is going to be with apples to apples, same tier Monkey King 350s? How much better will the Monkey Kings be? What do y'all think? 100 million DPS? You think it'll be that high? Oh, it'll be much better for sure, but how much, I wonder? Let me reset my buff here real quick. Let's see. Where are they going to cap out at? Looks like they capped out right there. 21 mil and 22 mil per hit. Now, of course, they had to ramp up to that, so the DPS on the dummy is a little whacked. But I bet it comes out to being 100 mil better. Actually, it's at 100 mil better right now, right? What did I say, 142? On the steam robots? So yeah, about 100 mil. More than 100 mil. I bet by the time it settled all out, B would be right. It would be like 120 million better. But here's the difference. Steam robots have an AoE cleave. So they're going to hit everything, where the Monkey King's only going to hit one thing. They're going to damage everything in the area. Now, obviously, for single target. But the problem is survivability. And you would just never play... You would never play a melee range summoner, because you just wouldn't live. I mean, I guess you could try to play one if you wanted to, but it just... Death would be imminent. And then considering you get this kind of damage out of the presence. Actually, I didn't let it reset. Actually, they're not giving the right damage total, so let me look. Let it all reset. Maybe they were. Or no, they couldn't have been. Search, Spoonie, Michael, and Tim, thank you all so much. Alright, let's see. Or yeah, there we go. That's a little better. Why would you ever use Monkey Kings when... Or, pardon me, why would you ever use melee range pets when you can stand back and do that? And not get smacked in face range? You know? And the range on them is pretty good. The thing is that high lob, so until you get used to it, you're going to miss a bunch of enemies. But the benefit you have is that is an AoE explosion. So even though you're going to be missing, you're still going to be doing a lot of damage out there, and it's still going to be hitting everything. I mean, look at the damage numbers ripping. If you're in a pack of enemies. It's an AoE explosion that's just going to tear shit up. You know what I'm saying? Crazy good. I can't wait to get some good ones. I need to farm... Before we end this week, we'll definitely farm them up. And see if we can't get some good ones going. All right, so we'll get that shroom build to the test here in 4-player, but I want to go brew a coffee real quick, y'all. So give me just a few minutes here. I will be right back. I'm going to brew up a coffee and then swing by and... I was sitting there talking muted, answering Hunter's question before I went for coffee. The Penguins are more DPS, but you have to get used to that high lob where the bombers, you don't miss, you know? Where if you're too close to an enemy, it'll shoot over their head. You saw in that last Demon Lord fight, I had to jump up in the air because the packages were falling short. So you have to get used to that shot to get its effectiveness. But they are more damage, and they're kind of fun. But bombers are super cool. So nothing wrong with using those either. Anyway, y'all, let me get that coffee and take a leak, and we'll return in just a moment. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Took a peek outside. We got like almost 3 feet of snow out in the yard. Literally. And today it's above freezing. It's like 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're supposed to get mad rain. And man, it's going to be a big old soup bowl. Big old soup bowl. For those just joining, exclamation giveaway in chat on YouTube or on Twitch. Sorry, Twitter and Facebook. There are no bot commands there. Elon and Mark ain't having no bots on their Twitters and their Facebooks. They ain't having it. Except for all those porn bots. Those are fine, right? They allow that. Anyway, get entered in, y'all. That one's going to end January 1st at midnight. Now, that is the evening of January 1st, not in the morning. So, when New Year's rolls around, I am not going to be handling giveaways for Dungeon Defenders. It's going to be the next day. When New Year's rolls around, I'm going to be slobbering all over myself, enjoying one final refreshment and pretending like I'm not an old man. Sith Phil, Merry Christmas to you. Merry day after Christmas. That's Boxing Day, Phil. It's Boxing Day. Has nothing to do with the sport of boxing. But yeah, it is officially Boxing Day. All right, let's do it, y'all. I think this is a 4-player viable build. I think we might have to contribute a little bit on the ogres, but that's it. I think it's going to work. Let's give it a whirl. Give it a couple of runs. Anybody else has a shroom build they want to show off, feel free to bring it on in. Holy crap, Sith Phil. Wow. Thank you so much. Dang, dude. Sith Phil with the gift subs for days. Dang. I do appreciate it a ton, man. Right. We were about to gift one, but there's no one left. All right, now what did we do here? We put, we had two... We did 2, 2, and 2, right? I'm going to throw upgrades on them this time, give them a little more range up front. Ren with the gift sub as well. Thank you so much, y'all. And then up top, we went 1 in a spider, and then 1 in a spider. I'm curious of a damage comparison, particularly 4-player, what these spiders put out versus what these shrooms put out. I'm very curious. Because the spiders are going to put out a mad amount of damage, and they have better range. So, I mean, it's not really apples to apples. You would have to put the shrooms way up front and move the spiders way back to get a legit comparison. And we got 5 left. Let's just go 1, 2, and 3. Do we want 1 here? Why not? We'll put 1 here. And then we'll throw 1 here for anyone that wants to chill. And then let's throw upgrades. Instead of on the buff beams, let's throw upgrades on these shrooms to give them a little more range. couple of spider upgrades too, and then I'll just spam the other 6k into these. Actually, you know what? I should hit these traps too, give them a few more charges. All right. And here we go. Like I said, I think we might have to contribute a little when it comes to the ogre killing. But we'll have to see how it goes. They're putting in work. It's just what's going to get there first. Like if the shroom gets there first, the shroom will get the damage. If the shroom gets there and blows up, and then the spider arrives after, then the spiders won't see the damage and the shrooms will. They are getting it. Been actively playing the EV. Yeah, EV is a lot of fun. EV's pretty good in all the Dungeon Defenders games. Besides the obvious, you know, with the buff beam. Everything's just getting spawn camped. Oh, that would be awesome, Hunter. Get a little extra damage for being near their homies. That would definitely be good stuff. Stimulating the power of an interconnected network of fungus. You've been watching too much Star Trek Discovery there, Hunter. They could even call it the same thing. Call it the mycelium network. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Ren is a Star Trek Discovery hater. Casser, what's up, man? How you doing today? Let's see, the ogre's gonna get just died. Yeah, the ogre's just got shit on. That's the thing. It looks like a Jin might steal that reflect beam, or no, he got hammered. That's the thing with 4-player, is if you have a competent group of players, it's just going to turn everything into a complete steamroll. Hopefully you don't find your dead lover in the network. Well, hopefully I don't have any dead lovers, man. Well, I mean, if that's actually set up DPS Huntress, there's no doubt you'll completely steamroll the boss. Their sins. Comes the ogre. Oh, that ogre got just hammered. Looked like every shroom and every spider was on him. Dude had a rough day. Rough day. Well, I mean, an okay Huntress is still ridiculous. All you need is a weapon in the rune. And you are a beast. We getting it here. We all getting it. The best thing to do is get to level 90 and then ignore your level, Damasceno, because you will be level 5 on everybody far before you get all of the loot you want. Leveling is just something that happens in the background in DDA. Like, once you get to level 90, just ignore that your level is even a thing. And you'll just be 105 before you know it. So just ignore level and farm gear. And like I said, you'll be 105 on everybody far before you get all of the gear that you want for them. So when you get to level 83, you would start off, you know, you got to clear Massacre campaign. And then you want to start off on Massacre survivals. And then your end goal, you want to be able to get to Massacre mix mode. And then after you hit 90, you'll be starting to work on Liking King or just bonus difficulties in general, still in mix mode. And your just levels will just hammer out. You know, they'll just be there in no time. If you wanted to try to rush the levels, even though I don't really encourage it because it's just unnecessary, but if you did want to try to rush the levels, then just pop into a high-end survival map. Like the Keep is the one I do, and just let it run until the build fails. Like, you can go from wave 23 to wave 40 on the Keep, and it takes you from 0 to level 95. Like, if you're leveling an alt, you can do that in like 30 or 40 minutes. On a brand new character, and that will get you to level 95. But yeah, survival and then mixed mode is where it's at as far as XP per hour goes. Yeah, survival would be awesome. I mean, survival is a key component of every Dungeon Defenders game except DD2. So yeah, it would be kick-ass to have it there too. Maybe one day, you never know. Well, damn, that just steamrolled. Absolutely steamrolled. Spraying presents like a mofo. Well, you can ask the devs nicely for it, but you got to realize that it's a 10-year-old game, and that would be asking for a major rework. They already know that it's something that players want. It's just a matter of, is it realistic in any way, shape, or form? And it might be. Or it might not. It's like a bunch of junk loot again. Where's my brooch? That's not it. It's buried in the Demon Lord's butt. Demon Lord got a brooch in the butt. Where the heck's the runes at today? Not getting any runes. Alright, let's run it again just to make sure. We better try one more time. There's a brooch in here somewhere. Yes, y'all, that is the real reason. It's not because I just enjoy doing strange and unusual things to the Demon Lord. I still need good brooches. I mean, I've got some good brooches, but I need more good brooches. And that's why we are grinding the Demon Lord all day. For me, I'm looking for brooches. I mean, everyone is really going to be looking for brooches. Because this is the brooch map. But there's also really usable starter weapons for Massacre here, too. It's not what you... They're completely just a starter weapon. It's not what you would want to end up using long term, but they are really good. I think we got us a good mushroom build here, though. Shoot, I forgot to check the damage done. I'll have to look at the damage done here, at the end of this one. But yeah, I think that is a more than suitable build right there. Spam the rest. All right, let's get it. Shrooms, sirens, strength drain auras. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm guessing we'll probably get runes when the second part of episode 2 comes. Can someone in YouTube chat type something for me? I think my YouTube chat must have froze up. Either that or people are just lurking, which is fine too. Lurk away if you are wanting to lurk. They changed the pet system quite a ways ago. Their heal meta. So I'm not seeing any YouTube chat at all. Let me tab out real quick and refresh this. Let's see. Let's see. All right, there we go. Yeah, my YouTube chat had timed out or something. Now I see you all. All right, so sorry, y'all. I wasn't ignoring YouTube chat. I wasn't seeing any of it for some reason. So what do we got? Can you get Johan asks, can you get 105 boss drop weapons? You can, but they're super, super rare. Guz asks for farming rooms. Is it better to do endless mode or just wave 23 to 25? Mix mode is where you want to go. So you'd want to do 23 to 25 in mix mode, Guz. Do I prefer DD2 or DDA? I don't really have a preference. They're both super fun games. And I think that was the only immediate questions I missed there. Sorry about that, y'all. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't ignoring you. I promise. I promise. The enemy says fish. I instantly had to look to see if that was Fisk. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Something to do with the multi-broadcasting, I'm sure. Should get a Steam Deck that has pre-recorded answers to often asked questions. Yeah, I used to have a bot commands for everything. I could go through and set all that up again, but it's a tremendous amount of work. And so I just continue to keep answering them. I need to, I wanted to see how episode 2 is going to go, but I need to do a full updated tutorial series for DDA. Oh no. A full updated tutorial series, and then I'll put bot commands to all the new stuff. The problem now that people have with finding information on YouTube, thanks for subscribing there, Evan, is that I've done literally, actually I'm coming up on, I haven't hit 4,000 yet, but I'm coming up on my 4,000th Dungeon Defenders related video. Whether it be DD1, Dungeon Defenders Eternity, DD2, or DDA, I'm up to 4,000. So there's just tons and tons of information, you know? Now, there hasn't been major changes to things in DD2 in a long, long time, many years. DD1 just got that big update, of course, and then DDA just got its big update, of course. So there is some things I've got on the agenda, like a rune tier list and various miscellaneous things. I need to do a fresh start again, because when I did that last fresh start for DDA, it was with the broken, overpowered summoner minions at 20 mana cost each. So it trivialized the entire early game. So I need to do that over again. Because, like, right now, I don't have... Oh, no, Man Bear Pig coming in hot. Looks like he got shroomed, though. Do a fresh start when the new boss map comes out. Yeah, that's what I was planning on. I mean, to be honest, I would have done the same things, but I wouldn't have used so many minions. When episode 2 first hit, of course, there was not necessarily a bug. I think it was a missed, something that was just missed in development. All the summoner minions were 20 mana. So you could go right into the first map of the game and, like, really build the map out, because everything was so cheap. And it just trivialized the entirety of the early game, which was definitely not a good thing. You know, a brand new player that didn't know any better experienced that. And their first impressions of the game would not have been good. So it's good that they got that changed. You shouldn't have... Players should be encouraged to play as many characters to kind of maximize their enjoyment. if you have one character that's just so above and beyond broken OP, it changes a new player's experience completely. I mean, even me, I get bored in the end game if I farm the exact same stuff and the exact same builds over and over again. I get bored to tears. That's why I like to experiment with so many different things. I'm hoping that part 2 update with the new boss hits by... I mean, I would love to see that hit before the end of February. I'm not sure how realistic that is, but I think that would be just awesome. I mean, obviously, I would love to see it hit next week, but that's not realistic. I think before the end of February, though, is maybe possible. Even end of January, I think, might be aggressive. Now, I didn't. Phil has kind of gone above and beyond. I give Phil all the credit, but I'm sure he had help. But the team there has gone above and beyond my expectations with the last several updates. I mean, I didn't expect to get a map for Christmas. I didn't expect to get a map for Halloween. We got a Halloween map. We got a Christmas map. We had episode 2 drop in the middle of all that. And then the Christmas update. Just crazy. I mean, I literally expected a login reward, and that's it. I did not expect, like, big quality of life changes and updates, a new map addition, a new pet. I did not expect that at all. I think it depends on the community. You know, if players are enjoying it and playing the game, I'm sure the updates will keep coming. That's why I got that bot command spamming all the time about leaving a review. Because that is a big, big deciding factor right now for Dungeon Defenders Awaken, y'all. A lot of people don't realize how important that is. But DDA got review bombed really, really hard, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And although most players look at Steam reviews for entertainment only, there's a lot of people that buy the game based off of what they see in the Steam reviews. So leaving a review is literally the best thing you could do for the future of Dungeon Defenders Awakened. It's just huge. It's more impactful than spending money, you know? Well, I mean, that's the challenge, is all Dungeon Defenders games are kind of a niche market. So, no Dungeon Defenders game has a big player base. But no game in the genre has a big player base. There's not an action defense game. Like, the closest thing to having a big player base would be Balloons. And that's just not even remotely close, right? God, this build shreds, actually. It does really good. And the map run times are good, too. Definitely shreds. Alright, was that 3, y'all, or was that only 2? I don't remember. Do we do one more, or do we change the build now? That was the second? Alright, we'll do one more. And then we'll change it up and do another off the beaten path build. Well, it's not just that, it's DD2 as well. DD1 players all wanted DD1, DD2 players all wanted DD2, and DDA is neither of those things. You know? So it's more than just that. I mean, obviously DD1 was the biggest, most successful of all the Dungeon Defenders games. DD2 did not have that success. But what it did have was it had its own niche group of players, since it was a free-to-play game, that didn't play DD1. So, like, when they see DD1's types game style, to them, they don't like it. You know, it's the person who has experienced all the games, all the Dungeon Defenders games, and looked at them as their own product and didn't just try to compare. Oh, well, DD2 did this. Oh, well, DD1 did this. It's like, well, these games aren't DD2, and it's not DD1. It's another game. Now, to be fair, Chromatic got themselves into that own situation, too, by reusing so many of the maps. So people look at it, and, you know, at least in DD2, although they reused a ton of the maps, they gave them a complete makeover and made them look different. You know? But when you come into DDA as a DD1 player, you see all of the same old maps, and you're wondering, like, WTF, it's just a remake, you know? And then, of course, you think it's a bad remake. And it's not a remake, you know? Then the other thing is so many people are stuck on best game. It's one thing, like, you know, everybody's got their favorite Borderlands game, but nobody refuses to play Borderlands 2 because they like Borderlands 1 more. They still play it, or played it, you know? In the Dungeon Defenders universe, a lot of people will straight up refuse to play the other game because it's not their game. It's like, if you want the DD1 experience, you should play DD1. If you want the DD2 experience, you should play DD2. If you want a different experience altogether, then play DDA. You know? And that's what just so many people... so many hard extremes in the Dungeon Defenders player base. You know? And there's no wrong answer, is the thing. Play any of them, because they're all really fun games. You like DD2 more? Great, play DD2. You like DD1 more? Great, play DD1. But don't complain about DDA not being DD1. DD1 is there for you, you know? I mean, that's fair too. You know, you got to realize that Chromatic over the last 10 years has had a lot of... they've had a lot of internal conflict at the studio, and a lot of people just won't play any of the games because of Trendy and Chromatic. And that's fair enough. I personally don't like playing Bungie games because I feel like Bungie shit on the community quite a bit with Destiny 2. It's my own personal opinion, and I don't play their games because of it. You know, and everyone is entitled to that. Need to accept that there's a loud minority of people on the internet. I mean, it's so true. So true. I mean, just in business in general, most of the time, people that are not satisfied with a product that they received, they just don't go back to that business. But the internet, I bring it up again. I just brought it up like a month ago. Mike Tyson, there's a quote from Mike Tyson that was just gold. I can't remember exactly what it is again, but it was something like, the internet has taught us how to be disrespectful without getting punched in the face. Or something along those lines. And it's so true. You know, people just like to complain on the internet. You know, if you've never been to McDonald's before and you go get a burger from McDonald's and you think it sucks, you just don't go back to McDonald's, right? But that's not how the internet works. That's just how real life outside of the internet works. Oh, I think that was the best quote ever. That Tyson quote. It's so funny. And so true. You know? Yeah, man, this build shreds. It does really good, and we're not even running around and collecting mana and upgrading properly. Of course, if we would have grabbed mana and put in proper upgrades, it would be even stronger. DD1 is definitely an incredible game. If they took the current PC version of DD1 and released it as a product on next-gen consoles, I would no doubt be grinding DD1 out on console. At this stage, I just don't have any interest in restarting over again in DD1 on PC. You know, like when an update comes, I like to just be able to hop into the update already in relatively decent gear and just play the new content. But man, if that ever happened on consoles, that would be so enormous. I asked Augie that in one of those Q&A questions, and he said that he would not be against it at all. The problem is it costs so much money to port a game over. I mean, as far as end game farming, there's no doubt there, Kesser. No doubt there at all. I mean, if I'm not streaming and I'm just farming the maps, I do the absolute minimum build I have to. That's going to run the quickest. Any news on DDGR? They just got that gamepad update, but I haven't heard anything recently about a new hero or any more content. I will tell you that Brent straight up spilled who the next hero is going to be. I asked him during a live stream. He was in the chat, and I straight up asked him, who's the next hero for Dungeon Defenders going rogue? And he said, well, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but it's in the title. I mean, that's basically saying who it is, right? It's the rogue. It's in the title? Well, the title's going rogue. I'm very curious to see how they implement that, because they're going to have to give the rogue some kind of defenses, you know? What the heck is this, man? Shrooms are just like chill killing 4-player Massacre Lycan King. Where did this come from? No runes. It came from that tower targeting change is where it came from. The problem Shrooms had before were never the amount of power they had. It's that they weren't shooting at the right enemies. Well, it's not a game that's been launched yet, Cyber Demons. You can't expect any... I mean, it's not a released product. It's a development build that was put out on Steam where you could have early access to it and play early. It's not even an official alpha or beta or anything. It's a straight development early access. So people are only going to play it around updates. It's the same thing all the games were. Like DD2 had that long early access. No one played it. And when an update came, everybody came back and played it. And then it dropped down, no one played it again. It's just how early access games work. I don't know. I think that it's a tough call on the... There's no easy decision on what to do with fusion gear and rifted mode, I don't think, in my opinion. I think it was a bad... It's the same thing as DD2. It's got bad design decisions that is in so deep into the game. How could you possibly change it now? Like what crushed DD2 was Onslaught mode. But Onslaught is such an integrated part of the game now, there's no chance they could ever change it. Now, Rifted mode in DDA, I think, does have the possibility for some changes, because it's not quite as integrated into the game as Onslaught mode is in DD2. Well, they don't need to change that. What they would need to change is non-rifted gear. There's not necessarily a problem with fusion gear and how it works. The problem is there's no reason to not use fusion gear, and which also means there's no reason to not play rifted mode. That's the issue. So it's not so much that they have to change fusion gear or rifted mode. They have to make a change to non-fusion to make it worth running, or make rifted mode, just get rid of fusion gear altogether and make rifted mode another toggle like hardcore that's like a higher difficulty or whatever. But I mean, that would be a massive amount of work, you know, for something that's already integrated into the game. And that's the other thing you have to think about when, you know, you got these major system overhauls and changes to a game. Would it not be better just to make a DD3? You know, if you spend all of your development time going back and trying to repair poor design decisions, then, you know, is that really the way to go? Do I remember Kraith 88? It sounds familiar. I'm an old man, Cyber Demons. I don't remember anything. That, and then it comes in, you know, now obviously, I'm not speaking for Chromatic, and I don't know their business model or how it works, but it comes into funding, too. You got a game that did not perform well that you want to rework. It costs a lot of money to rework it. Well, to make a new game, you're going to be able to get funding for that, because banks and private investors and everything else will invest in a new and upcoming product. Nobody wants to invest in repairing something that's old and busted. And that's the way investors would look at DD2 and DDA, to be honest. So it's, how do you, how do you make those major game-changing things happen when they cost literally millions of dollars? Well, I can guarantee you that was out of his pocket. That wasn't his stream revenue. Ah. Because no one ever made a bunch of money playing DD2 that they were able to gift hundreds of copies of the game. So, pat on the back to him, because that was straight out of his pocket. But no, I don't remember him from then. I don't remember a streamer named Wraith. And I've been streaming it since day one, but I don't remember him. But yeah, Dungeon Defenders streamers don't make money like that, where they can be buying a bunch of things. You guys would be surprised. You would be very, very surprised. But, I mean, DD2, back, like, when I started playing it in 2013, it was $80 to start playing it. $80! Included 2 keys. So you had a key to give away. I kind of wasted mine. I gave it to a friend. He ended up never playing it. He played it for a minute or two. A friend that got me into Dungeon Defenders 1, I gave my extra key to him. And then he never, didn't hardly play it. I think it would be more than that, Video Maniac, because there's sets now. The thing is to use non-rifted sets, they would have to be better than fusion sets. So to use a non-fusion set of gear, like fusion gear does double damage, right? So say you had a set that was specific to fire damage or fire defenses, like there is in the game, it would have to be more than double damage for it to be worth using. And that's what makes it so it's not worth. Man, anytime a cat rolls higher than like 350, it's always got 2 stats, it seems. I mean, I've got good cats already. But just such a bummer to see all the time. Bunch of junk, bunch of junk. All right. Well, let's go ahead and remake the group. Same as before, feel free to rejoin back in. I just want to give anybody else that hasn't gotten in an opportunity to hop in. So going to remake the group here, and then we got to decide what we're going to do next. What's the what did we do? We started off with, we failed with bowling balls. I mean, bowling balls would have worked on the side lanes, but just tried to overuse them. We did shrooms. We did PDTs and something. I don't remember what we started with the PDTs. But what's the next defense here? DD1 is DDA is completely changed if you haven't played it in a year and a half. Magic Missile Towers, there you go. I mean, I'm gonna have to put something else in. I'm not just gonna spam them, but that is definitely a good choice. Let's see. So yeah, if you haven't played it in a year and a half, you've got easily 200, 300 hours of play sitting there. Cyber Demons. Who is my most geared apprentice? Because they're all going to have magic missiles. Because they're all going to be on an Arcanist Tome. Is it this one? 12 and a half, 79, 73. Let's check the LT one. Yeah, it looks like the DST one is slightly better. Alright, so what do we use with the magic missiles? Of course, we want to use the bounce. That is bouncing magic. Projectiles deal 80% more damage and bounce up to 5 additional targets. So what do we use with them? Spiders is like the natural go-to, I think. Let's do spiders and magic missiles. Now, magic missiles, I'm not certain we're going to want to use the rune. Or I guess we should, right? Maximize the power. I mean, we can go 3. We want to make them special enemy targeting, I think. Switch them over to special. Well, I like the spiders for the Djinn is the thing. Spiders do really incredibly well against flyers, so I normally set spiders to either flyers or special. I think they just bounce to the nearest target. I'm not positive on that one, Sins, but that is my guess. Alright, let me try one first to make sure it's going to hold here. And then we will open it up. So tomorrow we're going to do Throne Room, y'all. I know people are probably like, what the hell, man? I mean, it's a grind game is what we do, right? We grind. Tomorrow we'll grind Throne Room. Alright, so let's start it off the same way. Every good build starts with traps and auras. Look at me calling this a good build already. No, the sets are all specific to what defense you're trying to fuse. Gamacina. It says it on the sets. Like, for example, this is the primitive gear. If you see it attunes defense 5 to the fusion element. No matter what, primitive gear will always attune defense 5 to the fusion element. And defense 5 is buff beam, so this is my fused buff beam EV here. Fusion is its own element. It drops in rifted mode. Fusion gear drops in rifted mode. Magic Missiles got quite the buff with that rune. And the rune wasn't very good on the PTR. They made changes to it that got it really nice and juicy. Alright, let's see. Do we want to go... Magic Missiles are cheap. I'm thinking maybe go 3 in a set. Two defenses on a ruined buff beam is the best use of the buff beam's damage output per DU spent. Actually, let's go 3 in the middle. We'll go 2 on the outsides. Let's see. What else do we need? We can do the same thing up here. Or actually, I think we got enough to go 2 and a spider on each side. So we could go... Go something like this. And then we got, what, 15 DU. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 15 DU worth of buff beams. I didn't place this tight enough. We'll just go 4 DU on that one. That gives me 7 left. And that's 4. Let's go just 1 stray spider that's not on a buff beam. We'll park it right in the middle. These are going to do really good, I think. I think this is probably going to be a pretty smooth running build. Maybe I'm putting too much faith in the old magic missiles, but I think this is going to be a pretty smooth sailing build, personally. Let's give magic missiles are another defense that get really good range value from upgrades. So let's give them a couple of upgrades. And then we'll just spam the rest of them. I don't know. I think this is going to really scream. I always forget about these explosive traps. I think it's going to scream, y'all. I do. Let's find out. The bounce is doing good. It's bouncing all the way down from the bottom up to the top. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a nice bounce. I don't want to get up here and ruin it with my pets, but I wanted to watch the bounces a little bit more. I mean, they are bouncing around. Yeah, you have to, all of the loot in mixed mode, or in, or no, mixed mode, you don't have to do anything different. It's the same as normal mode. You would want to farm the highest difficulty map for the best quality of gear. What you want to do in every game mode is you want to beat the keep, and that unlocks Lycan King bonus difficulty. And then you run any map you want on Lycan King bonus difficulty. Like for Fusion Gear, that's all map-specific drops. So you would do, you know, say you're looking for guard boots. Well, guard boots drop at Tornado Highlands. Uh-oh. Drop from Tornado Highlands in the victory chest, guaranteed drop. Now, there's random drops on the ground, too. But as far as guaranteed drops, this is just shredding, y'all. Magic missiles for the win. Oh, my God. What's going on there, Headshot? How you doing? Damn, these things are shredding. Well, tomorrow is Throne Room Day, so we will definitely put them to the test. I think this will be no problem in a 4-player group. You think your coworker got you sick? Well, that's no good. Mixed mode is... Don't think of it like its own game mode. Think of it as a difficulty toggle. What mixed mode does is it varies the enemies that come out, so no 2 runs will be exactly the same. The enemies that spawn will be slightly different in each lane. And in compensation for that, you get a 6% loot modifier. So mixed mode is not drastically different than regular non-mixed mode. It just has different enemies every time you run it, and it has a loot bonus. So just jump in. I mean, if you're clearing normal survivals, just jump in and do mixed mode. You don't have to prep or do anything special to prepare for it. Just hop on in and go ham. I mean, it's a different experience. You're going to have to tweak some of your builds a little bit. Like something that works on survival may not necessarily work on mixed mode. But it should just be a difficulty toggle. It shouldn't be set up where it's its own game mode like it is. I think that leads to a lot of confusion. Stopping by before you try to sleep? Well, get you some sleep, man. If you're sick, you probably need some. Being sick on the holidays is no fun there, Headshot. I feel for you, man. Hopefully you're feeling better here soon. Now, the question is going to be, how fast does the boss die? If all these magic missiles target the boss, I think he's going to get his head busted in pretty quick. I love that they're bouncing from the top lane down to the bottom and from the bottom lane up to the top, though. Absolutely love that. One of the problems on the PTR is the bounce range was way too short. So they wouldn't chain around like you would want them to. Yeah, just jump into mixed mode and try it out. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? Your survival unlocks from normal mode carry over to mixed mode as far as your wave. So like if you're completing survival maps in normal, you can do wave 23 mixed mode starts without going through and unlocking anything. So, I mean, you're not out anything. You're going to be out. Say you log into it, you pop into mixed mode, and you just get steamrolled. You're only going to be out 15 minutes. It's not like you're going to, If you're clearing survivals, then you won't have as big of a problem in mixed mode as you think. It will require some different tweaks, but it's not like reinventing the wheel or anything. Your same builds in a lot of cases will still work. Some of them won't, but some of them will, you know? Man, I don't know. I could see myself using a lot more magic missiles here. Throw in some flame bursts. See, that's what you do, Sith Phil. And it gives you the full-on high-quality light show, too. Is you use magic missiles, but then you throw in flame burst towers with the flame burst rune, and you set those flame burst towers to strong. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. That's what you do right there. In fact, I think we'll do that. When we open it up to 4-player, I think we'll do that instead. Because that just sounds like too much fun. In fact, we can save a little bit of DU by getting rid of these explosive traps up here. I think the ones in the back are a good idea because all the trash mobs that walk through. Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, they were always strong. The problem, it's not even the bounce, because if they still had fodder targeting, they wouldn't be that great. It's a combination of having the rune with the bounce, plus being able to set the target priority yourself. It's definitely a combination of the two. See, I'm trying to do the math here and think. Flame bursts are 5 DU, and the spiders are 3. So if we got rid of the spiders, that would be 9 DU right there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We could get rid of the spiders and these 2 explosive traps, and we got enough for 3 flame burst. I think that's what we'll do. We'll get some real fireworks going here. Like to see it with an apprentice boost? Oh, yeah. Oh, is it 4 DU now? Shows you how often I use flame burst towers, huh? Poor flame burst, so neglected. Those things hit hard, man. They hit hard. You put that rune on there, they are busting some stuff up. So, alright, so I'd be able to... I need to free up 1 more DU. The 1 more DU can be this reflect beam, I think. And then that would give me 4 flame bursts. So I could go 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. We'll use the flame burst rune and we'll set it to strong. Oh, it's going to be glorious. I'm not even going to bother testing that one. I'm pretty sure it's going to hold 4-player. So we're just going to jump right into that bad boy. Now we'll have less... Or no, we won't have less magic missiles. We'll have the same amount of magic missiles, but we'll have flame bursts in the mix as well. You know, and am I imagining things, or are these magic missiles kind of homing? They are homing. That hasn't always been a thing, has it? I don't think that's... Maybe that's always been a thing, and I just never noticed. So good. They used to miss a lot. So yeah, maybe they didn't have the homing. They got the projectile speed and the homing, maybe. Seems crazy good. We're at 15 minutes. I took my time building this one, though, so we'll have to look at it on the 4-player run. They're not taking shots. They're not taking many shots at the boss. I mean, when they do switch over to the boss, they shred it, but there's just too many targets behind us. I've done this fight way too many times. Oh my god. All right. Let's do it. Let me check the DU real quick. Make sure it's all going to work out the way I think it's going to. So if we didn't have spiders, and then we didn't have these explosive traps, and then we didn't have this reflect beam, then we could go, I mean, obviously I'd want to put it on the buff beam, but we could go one right there. Yep. There it is. That is going to be the build. So three magic missiles, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, and 2 and 1. I like it. I like it. All right, so let's queue this bad boy up public here. Let me check the loots real quick. HP regen and restore. I don't think there's anybody that would be looking for that. I'm just going to trash it because I don't think anybody wants it. All right, so we've got the rune in. What are my stats like on this guy? Pretty decent. 13k and 7,700. All right, let's do it up. I'll add in some LTs and do a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day build for the full fireworks show. All right, so these are on their own. And this will be on its own. And then we want, what, 3? Guess you know, they shoot 360 degrees, so no need to face them either. Oh shoot, did I make it friends only? It drops it every 5 waves. Sorry, y'all. Force of habit. But remember, it's not going to be as good as mixed mode gear. So you don't want to farm your Arcanist Helms that way. You want to farm them on mixed mode. All right, public. Try this again. All right. And then I'll try to put these as tight together as possible. Then I can still throw the reflect beam up. And then we'll get our Flame Burst Deliciousness in back here. I gotta check the targeting on these, make sure they're on strong. So strong is the highest health mob. So those will be hitting the highest health mob. We actually saved 1 DU by better tower placement. Is that getting? No, it's not getting that one. Getting it now. All right, and then with our extra one, what do you think? Core protection or homie protection? Always homie protection. The core will live forever. The homies may not. Alright, just for full-on eye bleed. Who do I got on this? Striking. Let's go with a speedy. And just for full-on eye bleed, I'll boost this out through 23 and 25, or 23 and 24. Oh, we actually already got Sins there. So I'll hop back on the Apprentice. Or no, Sins is on the Summoner. Sins is on the Summoner. It's all good. All right, here we go. And we'll get those overcharge boosts going here. Oh, yeah. It's raining. The magic missiles are so abundant, you can barely even see the flame bursts projectiles in there. They getting it. They are getting it. Wow. Well, That was weird. I wonder what that was. There's a weird, like, bloom or screen flare or something. The ogres despawn as soon as they get hit. Yeah, they're getting blasted, huh? It's definitely shredding everything. Nothing stands a chance with this. These flame bursts are hitting hard. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? With the boost, that was at 77 million? 77 million DPS. What? It's not even fully upgraded. Now that's double boosted, obviously. 77 million DPS. Fully upgraded, that's going to dish out more DPS than probably comparable to a lower end Squire. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, I'll have to get one leveled up and see what it is. I'm sure it'll probably be either over or close to 100 mil. We're out of juice. Just do this one right here. We got to get the buff beam upgraded too. Any more land? Doesn't look like it. Well, we need more mana. We're going to have to get one more wave. It's going to be pretty crazy. Definitely reckon it. There we go. There's a little tickle. I'm not sure we'll get enough to upgrade it all the way. We still need another 1,200 for the buff beam. We're close. We're close. Want to see what we get here. We still got 1,200 mobs left. Probably be enough mana dropping. I don't want to look at it again until we get that buff beam upped. Because it's going to be a big number. Was that it? Ooh, that was it. All right, let's see. 108 million DPS. Oh my god. Spider-Man 312, thank you so much for the follow. I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. 108 million DPS, and here's the kicker, y'all. It's fused. So it's doing double that, because it's hitting for double damage. It doesn't show the double damage on the tooltip. So its effective DPS is 216 million. 216 million. Nobody tell Phil. Well, nice. Well, thanks, there, Spider-Man. Don't tell Phil, y'all. Phil already knows. I always say don't tell Phil, but Phil already knows all the things. Now, of course, remember, too, the Flame Burst is no longer an AoE defense. It's now single target, but we're using it for single target. We've got it set to strong, so it's specifically designed to burn ogres, you know? And it should just tear them up. The Ogre Burst Tower? Oh, yeah. I keep calling it a Flame Burst. It's not actually the Flame Burst. Or it is a Flame Burst. What was it? In DD1, it's not a Flame Burst. In DD1, it's called a Fireball Tower. Alright. I'll switch over for the boss. And we'll get the point of view from this side of the map here. Seems like we need more magic missiles, huh? Needs more magic missiles. Well, we could get rid of the 2 explosive traps in the back. That would be 3 magic missiles. But we couldn't put them on a buff beam, though. That's the thing is, we don't want to go up too high or we lose the bonus. You know, the more defenses we throw on the buff beam, the less powerful it hits. See the ogre deletion from this side of the world. Looks like that ogre didn't even get hit by the flame burst. The magic missiles burned it. What it looked like, anyway. Damn. Damn. This one just evaporated here. Here's one. Oh, looks like my pet got him before the magic missiles could do much. Just got to remember it's single target, you know? It's that hard-hitting single target. So it's going to be very, very effective to use, the other things to think about is, what about putting it on air? It seems to me like it would be some big-time copter burners. But on the same note, if you put magic missiles on air, then they're going to completely devastate chains of regular flyers. I think it might one-shot the copters. We'd have to check it out. Well, yeah, it will chain down the wyverns is the thing. So if there's a string of wyverns, you'll get that, like, harpoon effect, where the harpoon pierces and goes through all of them. The magic missiles, in theory, would do the same thing. It's just they wouldn't be piercing, they'd be bouncing instead. Just smoked. Absolutely smoked. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Oof on those minor gloves, too. Why is it that every time you get all 4 stats and then power and rate or percent damage and power, it's always got to be a super low roll? Such a disappointment. Always, always. All right, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Yeah, the new Christmas map is indeed permanent. Every map that comes to DDA will always be permanent. Like the Halloween map is still there. The Christmas map will be staying as well. Yeah, definitely. It's kick-ass. Debating on what to do here if we use that extra 6. Well, I mean, the thing to do would be to add in a couple of spiders, but who do I even swap out? Well, we wouldn't be using traps at all. That's what we'll do. We'll just put in two unbuffed spiders because, you know, obviously we need more power. Eh. And I don't need to be building on, because remember, this guy's got fused magic missiles too. So I don't even need to be building on multiple apprentices like this. A little bit sketchy with the placement here. I got him pushed over so far. Thank you so much for following there, Enchiridion. Sorry for massacring your name. Alright, what am I missing? Oh, the spiders, that's right. Oh, I never put... Or yeah, I did. I feel like I'm missing something. I mean, that would be 3 spiders, but we only freed up... Oh, I never put a buff beam back here. That's what I'm missing. God damn it. Now I gotta rebuild all these buff beams. They're all screwed up. Because the aura is not attached. Gotta give the aura buff beam first, and then do all these other ones. And then we'll just throw 2 spooters in the back here for good measure. Get a little crowd control. And remember that spider debuff. Anything that gets spidered is going to get hit for double damage. So that 200 plus million DPS flame burst tower is going to be doing 400 million. You think that's enough? It should be fine. Now let's get a Dragolich debuff in there. My God, man. The devastation. Oh, the devastation. I'm so glad that Phil changed that bounce range. It's like I said on the PTR, that was not great. It was far, far from glorious. Yeah, man, these things are just wrecking. It reminds you of that scene of The Predator where the guy miniguns the jungle down? Who was that? That was Jesse, wasn't it? Jesse the Body Ventura. Wasn't that who it was that minigunned them down? Or was it... Yeah, it was him, right? Or was it, Yeah, it was Mac when Jesse died. I can't remember that actor's name. I haven't seen him in anything in ages. That was some shit. Could you imagine? Could you imagine just feeling that power? No, it wasn't Carl Weathers. It was the dude with the big eyes. What the hell is his name? I'm gonna look real quick. Let me see. It was Bill Duke. Bill Duke. I don't think I ever recalled his name. You have a good 23 140 Foundries and Forges solo build? Yeah, that one I just posted. That'll go all the way up to like wave 300. You don't want to start at 23 though. You'd want to start at 26. Unless you just, you know, if you start at 23, the mana scaling that you get per wave is based off of starting it at wave 1, basically. Where if you start at 26, it gets a special amount of mana scaling each wave. And you get so much mana, you don't have to run around the map and collect any. You'll get it. You'll have everything fully upgraded within a couple of waves, just from the default mana you get. You get like 15k a wave if you start at 26. Where if you started at 23 and 26, you'd only get like 2,500 or something. The sniper tower's good. It's lacking any sort of pizzazz at all. It's like a budget PDT that doesn't shoot through walls. It's got insane range. It hits really, really hard. The range on it, I'm pretty sure, is the highest range in the game. As it should be for something called sniper, right? It's got bigger... I'm pretty sure it's got bigger range than anything in the game, though. I'm not positive on that, but we'd have to check. Alright, what do we got going on here? We got a stuck bed somewhere. Ogre fell asleep on the job. He's afraid to come out. I don't blame him. If I was an ogre in this situation, I wouldn't want to be coming out either. Can't say I blame him a bit. And here you go, y'all. Life lessons with juice bags. You ready for it? Anytime it's at the holiday and your wife has you grill steaks, always grill an extra steak. That way, the next day, you get steak and eggs for dinner. And that's what I'm having for dinner tonight, y'all. In fact, this is going to be the last run here, because I'm going to get me some steak and eggs. Oh, man. Going to be tasty. Think the ogre is the only tower that can compete with it? You just had to use some nachos? Nothing wrong with nachos, man. I'm just a big fan of breakfast food. I love eggs. I love biscuits and gravy. I love all those breakfast-related foods. And luckily, my wife is not the sort that refuses to allow me to eat breakfast for dinner. She's all about it. She's like, you want breakfast? At 6 p.m.? Yeah, okay. Go for it. This is just pure devastation. I mean, I'm even thinking like sitting back here buffing this stuff is just completely overkill. I don't even think we need it. Butter on an English muffin with some gravy. I've never tried that. Always worth a shot, though. Always worth a shot. Shredding here. Oh yeah, I could see, especially with playing around with the targeting, I could see you doing a lot of different things with magic missiles. Definitely a powerhouse. This competition is Ogre and DST. Oh, you mean the sniper tower range? It blows away the DST. But yeah, I think the DST would be close-ish to it. The Ogre, of course, has got that crazy range. The PDS gets some pretty good range once it's upgraded if you got the rune. But yeah, Sniper Tower is just ridiculous. The range of it is crazy. Well, I mean, look at that Christmas map. Now, I don't think every map is going to be ginormous like that. But if you look at that holiday map that they just put in, that thing is huge, man. That's a massive, massive map. Oh, it's all good there, Video Maniac. It happens. I'm multicasting today too, to Twitter and Facebook and Twitch and everywhere, so there's a little bit of a picks up a little bit of a delay the longer you've been watching. This is just a straight powerhouse right here, though. My God. Like I said, y'all, tomorrow we're going to do Throne Room. Try to farm up some bracers and maybe get a good weapon or two. Anyone that's just joining, though, exclamation giveaway in chat. We're giving away all the juicy stuff. Winners on this giveaway will get to pick what they want. Nice, nice. Appreciate it there, Sins. I want to look at the damage output comparisons at the end of this one. We had a nice clean full run. See what what the spiders did versus what the magic missiles and what the flame burst did. The magic missiles, I'm sure, will have the highest just because of the bounce, assuming it's calculating the damage from each bounce. It should definitely be the highest. Oh, is the flame burst way up there? Let's take a peek. 9 billion. 3 billion. Wow, it tripled it. Holy shit. $7 billion there. Doubled these, it looks like. More, wow, tripled that one. Wow. You're doing 12-minute 300 runs with 2 accounts. Nice, nice. See, when he stays back there, when you get the Squire, the packages will all smack him. It's just when he comes up closer to you that there's an issue. Damn, dude got shredded. Let's take a look at these down here. That one did 4.8 versus the magic. Yeah, it's double. It's like double the magic missile. And the magic missile's got that bounce going on too. $5 million DPS on, or just with the buff beam versus 29 million DPS with the buff beam. Now that of course is what? 69 million Kappa. And this one is what? 10.7 million in effective DPS since it's fused in Rift mode. Crazy, 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 crazy. Man, no good loot at all. Gonna have to do another Alk Labs day here sometime in the next week. I gotta at least get one good brooch, right? There's gotta be one good one in there. But nothing that run, that is for sure. No love at all. All right, y'all, that is going to get it for today, though. Once again, exclamation giveaway in chat. I'm going to be live at 2 p.m. Pacific time every day for the rest of the month. The rest of the year. Streaming DDA every day for the rest of the year. But thank you all so much for hanging out. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful holiday season if you're celebrating it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Throne Room Day. And we're going to beat up on that mech boss like a mofo. But anyway, thanks a ton, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take it easy, y'all. Thanks for following, Hirion. Appreciate it. Take it easy, y'all.